Okay. And so, like so we're going to discuss your why you believe in Islam,
Correct.
and then before we get started, I like to usually to get a on a scale of 1 to 100, how certain are you that your belief is correct?
110.
110. Okay.
Yeah, I'm very certain.
So does that imply that there's no way you could be wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. All right. So let's see. So you said before I turned on the recorder that you believe in Islam and that the Quran is the guide to how to live. And I assume because you said 110% that you believe there are no mistakes in the Quran as
There
well.
is absolutely no mistakes.
Okay.
So the Quran been sent before 1441 years to the human by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and he's the seal of all prophet before him. That's mean as Muslim, I believe with all prophets, starting from Adam to Abraham, all prophet, Moses, Jesus, peace be upon them all, as prophets from God, guided us to worship only one God, and Prophet Muhammad came to seal these prophets by the Holy Book of Quran. And the Holy Book of Quran, God promised to protect it from any changes. So since 1441 years ago, there's no even one letter change in the Holy Quran. It's been sent exactly as been sent from heaven to earth.
Okay. So when you say you believe in the other prophets, you're speaking only of the Abrahamic religion.
All the prophets before,
Of,
not
of
not only Abrahamic, or even the prophet before Abraham.
so
no.
like the Norse gods, like Odin and.
I'm not familiar with that, but I knew that there is like I think 120,000 prophets sent by God. I'm not familiar with all their names, but starting from Adam, peace be upon him, going to Noah, and all prophets coming after him.
Okay.
So there's some of them we know their names, some of them we don't know.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But they so like Jews, Christians, and Muslims all they have an Abrahamic religion and they call God different names, but it's sort of the same
Correct.
God, right?
Yeah.
But so the prophets then presumably would be only prophets for the Abrahamic God.
No, I will repeat my answer now.
Okay.
All the prophets from God sent for humans.
Okay.
Starting from Adam, he's the father of all humans, coming down to Noah and his descendants going to name it. I really don't know their names, but I know that God sent them with the same message to worship him only and worship God only.
Right. So there are religions where they believe in multiple gods, like Hinduism, for example.
That's not religion that we believe with the prophets that sent from God. So Hinduism, for example, is created by a human who created certain way of worshiping like cows or idols or stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We don't believe with that.
So when you say the prophets, you don't mean the prophets of like a Hindu religion?
Yeah, we don't consider them as prophets.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so that would be true of the religions of the Americas, like Native American religions. You would not consider the people who were, like shaman. They're not prophets.
No.
Right.
So
that's
any
what I
religion,
mean.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but any religion sent by God to worship him, only him, and with different books that God sent, either Bible or Torah or Quran, at that certain time was true religion. And
okay.
We believe that after God sent many, many prophets, he sealed them with Prophet Muhammad. That means there's no other prophet after Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So all these new religion that came along recently or 100 years back or stuff like this, we don't believe that these are prophets.
So that would eliminate Mormons as well.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Buddhists or all of these other religions that came along.
Okay. So then, as if somebody, did you grow up
Yep.
with Islam?
Yes.
So your whole life you were born into an Islamic family,
Correct.
right? Okay.
And my all ancestors being Muslim since.
Gotcha. Okay. So somebody, so getting, you said that the word of the Quran have not changed since it was transcribed, correct?
Correct.
So I always wonder about this because there are translations into, I assume, every language of
Correct.
the Quran,
Yeah.
and that represents change. That is a changing of the
Correct.
words,
Let
right?
me clear my words in that regards. What I meant that Quran did not change since it's sent to human in 1400 years ago in Arabic language. There's no
Right, okay.
even one letter change in that
Right.
because it's sent by Arabic language, but all the translation is different, like how you translate certain words to other
Right.
language. It's different from one language to another, so you
Right.
can't control that. But what I meant is by Arabic.
Gotcha.
And what confirmed my theory or my belief is that there's a lot of miracles, scientific miracles in Quran that it's discovered in the last century, and that it's been written in Quran 1400 years ago. So if you know or not, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was illiterate. He cannot read or write. Despite he cannot read or write, what he transferred for us in the Holy Quran, some of the scientific miracle that describe, for example, one of the verses in the Quran describe how the development of the fetus inside the woman womb, the baby, how it's developed, and in the last 100 years only, they discover how it's that development and the baby or the baby inside the woman womb.
Right.
So this is miracle for me, and it's if you deep reflect in that, you see a lot of scientific miracle in Quran that confirm that it's not written by any human; it's written by God who created us.
How would somebody who is say they are not a Jew, they're not a Christian, they're not a Muslim, and they look at Islam and Christianity and Judaism, and all three say that their belief is the true belief, and that the rest are not as perfect or as valid as their own, and they are all as convinced as you are that they are correct, 110%. How would somebody outside of that determine which one is correct? Because I know there are Christians who say, in the same way as you just said, that look at the prophecies from the Bible, all this stuff, and that Jesus is the last prophet, and so how would somebody outside know who's correct?
Well, first of all, to start with, I have a lot of friends from other faith. I'm a community organizer who bring people from different faiths together to fight Islamophobia, not to convert anybody from their religion to my religion. This is not my business, and I don't really judge people with what they believe to put them if they're gonna go to hellfire or go to paradise. This is not my business. It's God's business. To start with that and make it clear. But if you look for statistics and number, I'm an IT developer and I work with data all day long. You will see that Islam is number one religion growth in the world. There's many people
Number one what?
growing religion
growing.
in the
Okay.
world.
Okay.
The number of people converted to Islam is going up and up. If you read about statistic in Europe, there is the place of worship, churches and places of worship being closed and many other mosques being open. So number do it all for me. Like if you deal with number, you will see that people convert to Islam because there's a lot of facts, and if you read enough and you educate yourself enough, you will understand that this is the true religion. I don't say that Christianity is not right. I don't say that Judaism is not right. I respect them. But I knew that God told us in the Holy Quran about these people, and He told us, like, we send them prophet, but after the prophet like goes away or die or been taken to heaven, they change their books. So their books is not authentic anymore to follow. But there's a lot of people I know personally who's Christian, and they're very true Christian who believe like there's only one God. There's not like Jesus is the Son of God, which is completely wrong. We cannot believe with this in the Holy Quran. God will judge them in day of judgment if that their belief is straightforward. What He sent His prophet saying that they are not, God, like Jesus, peace be upon Him.
So, I hear you say that that you find the fact that Islam is the fastest growing religion is evidence of its truth.
Not only that.
Not only, but you do see that as being a piece of evidence.
It's a piece of evidence, plus reading the Holy Quran and seeing how much like facts that God gave us 1400 years ago. We see them in current situation that happening. That confirmed for me that this is the true religion that God sent for us, and God know it all. So He sent us these books. The Holy Quran, 1400 years ago, and the fact is just proving recently from ours, certain life and current life.
Right. It's my understanding that the Quran is a guidebook for all of life, right? It proposes a system of law that everybody should or is supposed to abide by, Muslims.
Correct.
How does that work with Christians and Jews and Hindus and Zoroastrians and people of other faiths? You say as a community organizer you are working and bringing people together, and that you're not trying to convince them, but then within the book that you say is perfect, there's a system of law that presumably you would also like to apply to them as well.
Well,
it seems like there seems to be a disconnect there.
Can you verse your question in a different way?
Yeah, sorry, it's a little
hard
confusing.
understanding.
Yes. So I feel I hear a disconnect between your claim that that there is no pressure to have people be Muslim.
Correct.
But within the Quran, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is that the Sharia is a law that applies to not just Muslims but everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
If an Islamic country, correct. Yeah.
Right.
Not everywhere.
Okay.
So, for example, I can't bring Sharia and say okay, I want to apply it here in the United States, because this country is not under the umbrella of Islam, right?
Right.
However, I just want to add to that in the Congress, they already wrote many verses from the Holy Quran right there, and many words from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and the Congress, if you noticed that or not.
Of the United States.
Yes. Stating that it's the religion for peace and for community, and a lot of peaceful verses from the Holy Quran.
Is it the goal? It's the goal of maybe I'm not saying it's your personal goal, but I understand that it's the goal of Islam that everybody be a Muslim. Eventually, not right away, but that is at a certain point in time. Christians were going all over the world. They wanted to make everybody a Christian. And I think that's also a part of Islam as well.
Well, I don't know if I can answer this correctly or not, because I don't know if the goal of Islam to make everybody Muslim.
It does say that in the Quran.
It doesn't say that in the
No.
Quran. The verse that came to my mind right now, that God say, we send people in the meaning of the verse, because I don't recall the verse completely. I know it in Arabic by my native language. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. God created you from different tribes and different people, so to get to know each other. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. The most righteous of you is the one who fear God more. So God say this verse in the Quran very clearly, that regardless with your skin color or your language or your status, or if you are poor or rich, you still will stand in front of God, and we will be encounter for your action, whether you did right or wrong.
Right. And
But-
that's true of Christianity. Christians make that claim as well.
Correct. Yeah.
So I guess I wonder, with the fact that the Quran, in order to be fully understood, has to be read in Arabic. Is that correct?
It's recommended to be read in Arabic, but a lot of people, they don't understand Arabic, so it's being translated to other languages. But it's very powerful in Arabic, that if you know the Arabic language, you will see that there is certain words, there's no equality for any of the meaning of any other language.
Right, and so it's with that understanding that I wonder, if somebody who, for example, reads the Quran in English, they cannot fully understand the Quran.
They will, but not, I would say there is certain words in Arabic, it's very powerful, that there's no equivalent word in English that will give it the same exact meaning.
So
but it's the same general meaning. If you take one verse from the Holy Quran, you will see the translation pretty much the same. But to have it as a powerful language, and when you read it even in Arabic, and when you hear it in Arabic, I've been in many occasions where I recite the Quran the way how my teacher teach me how to do it, in very nice, beautiful voice. A lot of Americans who don't understand one word in Arabic will have tears in their eyes, because the words have so much powerful meaning in their heart, though they don't understand anything.
Right. I guess I wonder, you stated, very early on in this conversation, that the Quran is perfect, and it seemed like that was important, very important. And so that's why I asked the question, like, if you read the Quran in English, it seems inevitable that you will have a certain, even if it's only small, misunderstandings because of the difficulty in translating it, right?
I will not say that. I will say it still gives you the same meaning, but it's gonna be more powerful to read it in Arabic. Okay. But it will give you the same meaning. That means if you read one verse in Arabic, you read the exact same verse in English, you will get the same general meaning and exactly the same idea that God wanted to convert for you. However, it's much more powerful to read it in Arabic. I will give you an example to make this easier.
Okay.